On a quiet summer morning in 2011, a normal day began in a small American town. A house stood silent. Inside that house lived a family of four. A mother, a father, and two young children. Their last name was Jamison. They were not famous. They were not criminals. They were just ordinary people. Until they vanished. Friends noticed something strange. The Jamison family suddenly stopped answering calls. No messages. No updates. Days passed. Then weeks. Finally, police decided to check their home. What they found raised more questions than answers. Their house looked abandoned, but not rushed. Their dog was still inside, weak, barely alive. Their wallets were left behind. Their phones were gone. Even stranger, a large amount of cash was found neatly stacked inside the house. Why would anyone disappear and leave money behind? Investigators searched the family's computers. They found disturbing videos. Footage of the parents sitting in the living room, staring at nothing, silent, emotionless, no explanation, no context. It only deepened the mystery. Then, months later, the family's truck was discovered. Abandoned in a remote forest area. The vehicle was unlocked. Their belongings were still inside, but the family was gone. Search teams flooded the area. Helicopters, dogs, volunteers. Nothing. No footprints. No signs of struggle. No clues. For years, the Jamison family seemed to have vanished, without a trace. Then, almost 4 years later, a shocking discovery was made. Human remains were found in the wilderness. They belonged to the Jamison family. But the mystery didn't end there. The remains were scattered. No clear cause of death could be determined. No weapon was found. No clear explanation was given. Some believe the family got lost, that they wandered into the forest and never made it out. Others believed something darker happened. A planned disappearance, a confrontation gone wrong, or something no one witnessed. The unanswered questions remain. Why did they leave their home? Why leave money behind? Why travel into such a dangerous area with children? And what do those strange videos really mean? To this day, no clear answers exist. No final explanation, no closure. The Jamison family didn't just disappear. They left behind one of the most unsettling, unsolved family mysteries in American history, because sometimes the most terrifying question isn't who did it, it's why did they leave at all? On a quiet winter evening in 2010, a call came into a police station in California. It was short, calm, almost casual. The caller said a man was missing. His name was Bryce Laspisa. He was 19 years old. A college student, intelligent, well-spoken, and according to everyone who knew him, nothing seemed wrong. But that night, something was very wrong. Bryce had been driving home from college, a trip that should have taken only a few hours. Instead, he stopped, and stayed stopped, for more than 13 hours. At a remote roadside rest area, his parents became concerned. When he stopped responding to messages, they contacted police. An officer found Bryce sitting in his car, alone. The car was running. The radio was on. Bryce was awake. The officer asked him questions. Bryce said he was fine. He said he was just tired. He said he was heading home. The officer saw no reason to detain him, and let him go. That decision would haunt everyone involved. Because Bryce didn't go home. Hours later, another call came in. Bryce's car had been found. At the bottom of a steep embankment, the vehicle had crashed hard. But something didn't make sense. The damage suggested the crash was intentional. The car had been driven directly off the road. No skid marks, no attempt to stop. Inside the car, police found Bryce's belongings, his phone, his laptop, his wallet, everything. Except Bryce. Search teams arrived quickly. Dogs tracked his scent. It led away from the car. And then vanished, just stopped, as if Bryce had disappeared into thin air. The area was searched for days, then weeks. Helicopters scanned from above. Volunteers searched on foot. No body, no clothing, no trace. Bryce Laspisa had vanished. People began asking questions. Why did he sit in that rest area for 13 hours? Why did he tell police he was fine? Why drive his car off a cliff, and then walk away? His parents revealed something troubling. In the weeks before his disappearance, Bryce had been acting differently. He had given away personal belongings, he seemed distant. But no one believed he was suicidal. Friends described him as calm, thoughtful, not reckless. Some believed Bryce survived the crash and walked away, started a new life. But he left everything behind. No money, no phone, no ID. Others believe he became disoriented after the crash and wandered into the wilderness, but extensive searches found nothing. No remains, no evidence. Years passed. Occasional sightings were reported and confirmed, never proven. Bryce's parents never stopped looking. They continued to search, to hope, to ask questions. To this day, no one knows what happened to Bryce Laspisa. No arrest, no body, no answers. He spoke to police. He was seen alive. He was minutes away from home. And then he vanished. Which leaves one haunting question. If someone can disappear after being seen, questioned, and released, how many others have simply slipped through the cracks? Because Bryce Laspisa didn't disappear in darkness. He disappeared, right in front of everyone. And that may be the most terrifying mystery of all. On a cold January morning in 2016, a teenage girl walked out of her high school in Canada. She never came back. Her name was Mekayla Bali. She was 16 years old. Quiet, introverted, and hiding something no one understood. That morning, Mekayla told her teachers she wasn't feeling well. She left school early, but she didn't go home. Instead, she went to a nearby fast food restaurant. Security cameras recorded her sitting alone, waiting, looking at her phone. Minutes passed. No one joined her. She left. Next, she went to a nearby Walmart. Again, cameras recorded everything. Mekayla walked through the aisles. She looked nervous. She checked her phone again and again. At one point, she tried to withdraw money. Her card didn't work. She didn't panic. She just waited, as if she was expecting someone else to solve the problem. Then she did something strange. She walked back to the restaurant, sat down, waited, left again. This pattern continued for hours. Restaurant, store, bus terminal. Always waiting, always checking her phone, never calling anyone she knew, never asking staff for help, and never looking lost. Late that afternoon, Mekayla entered the bus terminal. Cameras showed her standing near the counter. She spoke to an employee. She asked about bus routes. Long-distance routes, out of town. The employee later said something felt wrong. Mekayla didn't have luggage. She didn't have money. She didn't know where she was going. Still, she left the terminal. That was the last confirmed sighting. She vanished. No body. No phone signal. No bank activity. Police reviewed hours of CCTV footage. What disturbed them most wasn't what Mekayla did. It was how she behaved. She looked like someone following instructions, not panicked, not confused, just waiting, as if someone else was guiding her. Investigators later discovered something chilling. Mekayla had been communicating online with people no one could identify. Multiple accounts, different platforms. Some messages were deleted. Some accounts vanished completely. Her parents had no idea. Friends had no idea. Teachers had no idea. She had been living a second life online, when no one saw. Theories exploded. Was she groomed? Was she manipulated? Was she running away? Was someone waiting just outside the camera frame? Some believe Mekayla met someone that day. Someone she trusted, someone who told her exactly where to go. Others believe something darker. That she was pulled into a situation she couldn't escape. Years passed. Searches continued. Tips came in. None led anywhere. Her phone has never been recovered. Her online contacts were never traced. And Mekayla Bali was never seen again. 16 years old, disappeared in broad daylight. Recorded by dozens of cameras, surrounded by people. Yet completely alone, which raises the most terrifying question of all. How does someone vanish when the world is watching? And if she was following someone's instructions? Who was on the other end of the phone, waiting?